All right, welcome back to Kings of Opinion, the 29th episode. We got the Wanderer here and Ernie as usual.
Hello, gang.
Happy All Hallows Eve
That's right,
to
there
all
we
you
go.
freaks out there.
That's right. Halloween tomorrow, so tomorrow's going to be a crazy day. And we also got the NFL trade deadline ends tomorrow at 4 p.m.,
Yes.
right? So obviously, if you guys are watching by now, you know I always have a Ryan's rant. Today we will not have one.
What?
What?
Yep, we will not have one. I am going to save it for next week, only because we need more time to talk about what happened yesterday in the NFL. And I'm not even going to start this episode right now.
No.
I'm going to turn it over to our Jet Giant correspondent of the week, the Wanderer, to tell us how his day was at the Giant Jets game yesterday.
Well, I had a decent time. The action on the field was few and far in between. Not a lot of offense. Uh, not the best weather, but in a full house. But made it through. It was close. Each team was, I guess, trying to make less mistakes. You could say. Um, I saw a fight in a section to the left of me, probably sometime in the first quarter. Yeah, that was definitely more action than was on the field.
So you had a better time watching the fight than the game.
Well, no, I just saw like the aftermath. I didn't see the actual fight, but there's a lot of people there. Um, a couple nice. There's a nice run by Hall and also by Barkley, but not much else than that on offense.
So you were sitting up in the 300s,
Yeah,
right? So you saw the one fight, right? Which
yeah.
me and Ernie were talking about it at Fallon's yesterday.
Uh-huh.
We wouldn't be caught dead at that game yesterday. So we were actually proud of you that you stuck out the game.
Especially in that weather. Did you get
Oh yeah,
out?
I was soaked. I was
No, thank you.
Yeah, it was raining pretty much the whole time.
Yeah, and we were watching the game thinking like it's gonna be like a 15-12 or 10 game. It's gonna be no offense, all defense.
You were thinking too big.
Right. Apparently, I was only short by
I
two.
know. I'm
Actually,
just having
that's
a
not
laugh.
terrible. But either which way, we knew it wasn't going to be
In overtime.
right an offensive explosion. Even though it could have been. Both defenses played pretty well. They made their mistakes on both sides of the ball, but
Not a very sexy game.
Yeah, I heard rumblings that. Is it true you didn't stay for the whole game?
That's true. We started to make our exit once the Jets turned the ball over on downs. Somehow the Giants magically figured out a way to blow a game that was over. So as we were outside, we saw the tying field goal, and then we left as they were approaching overtime.
Wow. How was the fan base in general over there? Was besides the one fight, did you see?
Pretty tame. I mean, we went in rather early. It opened at 11. We were in there. We actually it was a good thing we were online because it literally started raining as they scanned our tickets in, and it rained pretty much the whole time. But no, before that it seemed pretty tame, pretty family friendly. But that was only a little before 11 a.m. I don't know if things got wild in the next 2 hours. Who knows?
Yeah, I guess the 44 punts or whatever it was. Yesterday put everybody in.
Like a coma.
Yeah.
Right. So I have an interesting fact about all those punts. There's only one other time that there were more punts in a game, and they were saying it on the radio today. I think it was 47 punts.
Wow.
And I think it was like in the early 2000s, maybe like 2006 or something like that. I forgot the two teams, but I mean.
And how many punts ended up happening yesterday?
44.
It was 44?
Something like that. It was something close. It was crazy.
Oh,
yeah. I mean, we can look it up, but like, it was bad. The kicker, the punter for the Jets, after the game, got a little emotional. I guess he's on the latter side of his career, so he was he had a good game. Like obviously when you're gonna punt
Oh
20
yeah,
something times,
no, but he pinned them
all the time.
inside the 5 twice.
Yeah,
I think.
and inside the 20 or 15, it was a bunch of times. Like he just kept kicking the hell out of the ball.
Yeah, he did his job.
I mean, it also helped that the Jets really didn't have an offense. Like they'd go 20 yards and then have to punt. So he's punting probably from like the 30 to 40-yard line. So it makes it a little easier for him instead of punting from, the 20 to 10 or backed up somewhere back there. But, the other side of the ball for the Giants, you had Graham Gano, who is actually pretty steady of a field goal kicker, and he was 2 field goals.
Yeah, 2 big ones.
And then they threw out there at the end of the game that he had a knee issue on his planting leg, not his kicking leg.
Huh.
And he said, and fair enough, he did speak about it, and he said that shouldn't have mattered. He still should have made those field goals. So at least, he said that, because I don't know if Giants fans would have been happy about making excuses for missing field goals.
Yeah. So it was 24 punts yesterday, which was the most in the game in the last 20 years.
Okay, so the last one, the other one, do you know who I guess it was 20, you said 24 yesterday?
Yeah.
So it must have been 27 was the record that they were talking about or something like that. But anyway, yeah, I mean, if you went to the game or watched the game expecting it to be an offensive explosion, you're probably delusional anyway, because
have you been watching these teams?
Right, like both teams' offense are terrible.
Yeah.
They can't really do much besides run the ball.
Yeah.
And even at times they can't even do that because both offensive lines struggle and have their own injuries and yada yada yada.
Yeah.
And the Jets are playing with a backup quarterback. The Giants were playing with a backup quarterback, and then Tyrod Taylor hurt his ribs on a play.
Yeah.
What was it in the third quarter, Ernie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing him run off.
You had Danny DeVito come in, and
score a touch. Yeah,
he scored a rushing touchdown.
He sold that fake well.
Right, and that play shouldn't have never happened because the Jets stopped him for 3 and out,
right.
And then somebody on the defensive line had like an offside on the field goal.
Oh yeah. Yes, that's exactly what it was.
And it got them the first down. And
yeah, that's a big mistake. In that situation.
And then they got the touchdown. Maybe they even held him in the first 2, and I think it was like 3rd and whatever.
Yeah.
And he rushes it in, and I'm like, they wouldn't let him throw the ball. You're watching DeVito, and he threw the ball twice.
Yeah. One thing you have to do is, and they didn't do it.
Right. And you got to expect, I give the Giants a little bit of credit for doing the QB sneak, or at least the QB option.
Right.
But, if he's not throwing the ball, everyone should be up at that line, especially on the goal line. There should not be a hole like that for him to run.
Right. And there was a lot of it was he could have drove a truck.
It was wide open. So I'm like, I don't know who's back in the end zone thinking this guy's going to throw it when the last 7 plays were all runs by Saquon Barkley.
Right. And they clearly were not letting him throw the ball.
Correct.
Yeah. Which, I heard earlier on the radio. It's, why do you have a guy on your roster who you are not going to allow to throw the ball?
Agreed.
Right.
That makes no sense.
What's the logic there? I do have to say though too, another observation. I was surprised at how much the other fella was throwing. Like they let him throw that much. Zach Wilson. I felt like he was in a lot of other time this season. He's been managing the game more. But he was throwing a lot.
When he does throw the ball, he knows how to throw it. The problem is he usually holds onto the ball for too long.
Yeah,
which is what we saw a lot in the fourth quarter. All game
he made a couple of nice passes, but I was just surprised that he had usually they keep it pretty restricted.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to be an NFL quarterback, you got to be able to throw the ball, especially the Jets don't have terrible wide receivers either.
Right.
You got Garrett Wilson on one side, Lazard's capable of catching the ball.
Yeah.
You got Cobb, but whatever. And there's somebody else that they're going to try and get onto the field soon. I forget who their 4th wide receiver is, but
Brownlee, the guy that was on Hard Knocks a lot.
Yeah, the one that made the team as a free agent, right?
Right.
Yeah, and you like to see those guys get in, but Wilson, besides the 2 fumbles, which the first one in the first quarter, whatever, it's the first drive, like that really shouldn't dictate the rest of the game. But the other one later in the game, and then just in the fourth quarter, he's taking sack after sack. And he's like scrambling around. Like at some point, if you're scrambling, you have to know someone's breathing down your neck.
Right.
So the minute you get away, throw the ball out of bounds.
Right.
Don't try to make something happen.
Yeah, he has a tendency of going backwards,
Mhm.
and then he starts going sideways, and it's like
Yeah,
no good can come
Right,
of this.
because as soon as you snap the ball, you're back 5 to 7 yards anyway.
Right.
Then you go another 10 yards back to like scramble.
Right.
No. What I'd rather you do is step up in the pocket, or you take the steps back
Right.
and go right or left.
Right.
And if you see a hole, run. Like he did that a couple times yesterday, and he picked up a big first down.
And throw the ball away too,
Right,
instead of risking the sack.
Yeah, there should be 2 thoughts. If someone's on your back, throw the ball away. And your receiver should see you scrambling for a minute. It buys them enough time to come back to you. So you don't get, as long as you're out of the pocket, you're good anyway. You can throw the ball away. But if you're still in the pocket, you got to throw it towards a receiver, or else it'll be, intentional grounding, I think it is.
Yeah.
So, like, you got to know these things. Like, it's not like it's his rookie year. Like, these things that should always be in your head. 3 seconds, nobody's open. All right, do I have a lane to run? Because he can run the ball. He's kind of like Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
And you saw it yesterday. In the fourth quarter, he ran for a first down, which was much needed.
That was the biggest play of the game.
Yeah, and then he winds up throwing a ball.
It was 3rd and 11.
I think so. And he got exactly the 11 and ran out of bounds, which is smart. Stops the clock, whatever. It might have even been an overtime. I'm not sure, but
he had 2 big runs. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a big play. But that's what you want to see from him. Instead of getting sacked 20 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and now no matter what down it is, you're 2nd and 20 or 25 or whatever.
Yeah.
I think when he did the first one, it was the first 3rd down conversion of the game for the Jets too.
Yeah. And the Giants, I don't think were much better
No,
either. Like
no.
at one point, they were both over in 3rd downs,
yeah.
and this was like late in the game.
Yeah.
And
wasn't his only 3rd down completion the
run,
one in,
the 11-yard run? Yeah.
Yeah. Probably.
No, it was the only 3rd down completion he completed was in overtime.
Yes.
Before the field goal.
Yes.
Okay. Well, there you go. But yeah, so I mean, I almost wanted them to just tie because they both deserved it. Like neither team deserved to win. Like I'm glad. Don't get me wrong.
Hey, you know what though? A win's a win, right?
Right. I'm glad the Jets won. Right. But
Wasn't pretty, but hey, it's a dub.
Yeah, I mean, moving forward, like the Jets play the Chargers next week.
Right.
And we'll get to the picks in a little bit, but I don't know, man. Like, at least the Jets are home and they're not going to LA, but Zach Wilson's got to be better. And granted, he didn't throw any interceptions, so that's still good. But you got to hold on to the football. You got to make smart plays.
Make better decisions.
Yeah.
He's got to make some better decisions.
Yeah, agreed. Like, and it's the same for the Giants too. Like, and you can see Dable at the end of the game was pissed again.
I mean, all things considered, you could blame a lot of it on him. It didn't seem like he did very well of a coaching job there yesterday. I mean, come on.
Well, the stuff at the end of the game, you're always going to pick apart. Like, some people agreed with him going with the field goal at the end, and then some people said, no, you should have just went for it, and then you'd have run the clock out. But I guess the way he was thinking of it, and he explained it at the end of the game, like, if we go up 3 more and they have to score a touchdown to win the game,
Right.
I mean, it's unlikely. You know what I mean? For the Jets,
They went for the field goal. They missed it, so they're going to scrutinize it.
Agreed.
If 4th and 1, they would have went for it and they wouldn't have got the first down, they would have scrutinized it.
Agreed. He was in a no-win situation up for that. So, and you want to blame him for other stuff, I guess you could too. But at the end of the day, like, these guys work all week to figure stuff out, a game plan, or, what are you going to do in certain situations? The players, they got to come through with it. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just blame the coach every single time, like, when you can't convert any 3rd downs or, you can't throw the ball.
And Barkley definitely did his part yesterday.
Yeah. 120-something yards rushing?
Something. Then I saw like 36 carries.
A lot. Well, he earned his money yesterday, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, definitely did his part.
You
And I
know?
mean, at the end of the game too. On top of it all, they knew he was going to run it, so that was even more impressive.
Right, right. And I kind of feel like the Jets did what they normally do with that situation. Like they could have done probably better trying to hold him down, but they weren't letting him get first downs. They let him run for 2, 3, 4, get him in like a 3rd and 6 or whatever,
Right.
and then they would have to do something else and they'd stop him again. So like if you run 36 times, you should accrue over 100 yards because that's not even 3 yards a rush.
Well, yeah.
So he was
right.
around 4 yards, which is not bad, but not great either, But, he still did it what he had to do. He pretty much put them all in the back and moved the ball as best as they could. So, it was a pathetic game to say the least. But
That it was. That it was.
we did have fun watching the game, at least for a little bit.
Of course, as always.
And I'm glad, Wander, you had a good time at the stadium. And I'm glad you came back in one piece. I could have definitely seen things happening at that game. But I guess it was so boring. Everyone was just sitting there like this.
Comatose.
Yeah, like, oh, man. Okay, let's go.
I think I did hear too that the Giants threw for -9 yards yesterday.
Yeah. I don't know how that's possible, but yeah, that's definitely true. I saw that stat because I think Tyrod Taylor threw for 8.
Oh no, I'm sorry. They threw for 7 yards.
Okay.
Yeah, Tyrod Taylor threw for 8 yards, and DeVito threw for -1.
-1. Oh man, that's tough, man. That's really tough. I don't know what you do with that, but what are you gonna do? So I mean, we got the Raiders and Lions tonight, so that'll wrap up the week. But around the league, not a lot of impressive football.
Nope.
A very disappointing week. I mean, some teams won that should have. They didn't cover, so they screwed us. I'm sure at times.
Cowboys were pretty impressive.
Yeah, I guess that would be one of the games. But I mean, the Rams, but the Cowboys defense held it down.
Yeah.
Yesterday, so they did a great job. The Eagles won, and that was a weird game too, because we were talking about it last week. The Eagles and the Commanders playing.
They were down 14-0 early, right?
They were down almost the whole game.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They slowly climbed back in and then won the game. I forget what the score was. Let's see.
38-31.
There you go. So
wow.
It was another competitive game, and I guess for whatever reason, the Commanders can hang with the Eagles.
Yeah, it seems to be the case.
Always, yeah. Always seems that way.
Yeah. And
they scored 35 points in the fourth quarter.
Wow.
Between the two teams.
Wow, that's nuts.
Wow.
That's a big fourth quarter. I would cry if the Jets would just score 35 points in the game, let alone in the fourth quarter.
Jeez.
The Chiefs lost to the Broncos.
I heard. I didn't see. How did you watch any of it?
Not really. And you really didn't want to watch most of it because
it's one of those.
The Chiefs look, and I don't understand how this is possible because they beat the Jets, and the Jets played one of their better games against the Chiefs. And maybe once again it was just the Jets being the Jets, but how the Broncos were able to hold the Chiefs to 9.
Yeah, they didn't score a touchdown.
No.
Wow.
And then on the flip side, also scored 24 points. Is, mind blowing.
Bizarre, yeah.
Yeah, a little bizarre, and that's why
Russell Wilson threw for 114 yards and 3 touchdowns.
So I guess they ran the ball a lot, huh?
Yeah, Williams had 27 carries for 85 yards.
Oh, so that's not a lot. So how much offense did they have? Did they just have good field position and just get a couple touchdowns?
I guess. See if anybody else had any running numbers.
And then the Chargers took care of business against the Bears, and that was the Sunday night game. Not much to see there. So then,
go on? Sorry.
Yeah, we had the upset. One of the upsets of the week was, or another one I should say, was the Bengals 49ers.
Yeah, how was that game?
The Bengals went on the road, and I think Joe Burrows is officially back.
Nice.
Yeah, it looks that way.
Yeah.
It looks like the whole team is back.
Right. He threw for 3 touchdowns. I think it was 283 yards, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Which is great news for me for my fantasy. Hopefully, like I could
More to come.
More of that to come, and I could get out of a little bit of the cellar in my fantasy league and start to climb the ranks a little bit. Because I need to. I also need if he's listening or watching or whatever. If Devontae Adams could step up his game, that'd be great for me tonight. Because I need him to score like 30 points.
Oh, not for me, man, because I'm playing somebody who's got Devontae Adams.
Well, too bad for you. Okay. I need him to do good today because I'm like
Conflict
15
of
points
interest.
behind. And the guy I'm facing has got Laporta, so I'm assuming he's going to get like 10 to 15 points. So I'm looking at like I need Devontae Adams to have a good like 10 catch, 120, 30 yards, and a touchdown or two. That'd be great for me. Yeah, so there's that. I don't know if there was any other upsets.
No, not really.
I don't think so. Maybe the Panthers versus the Texans.
Oh yeah, that
But like
could be considered.
I guess it should be. And the Panthers won in the last seconds of the game with a field goal. So
That I saw. Yeah, I mean, I saw the
kick, right?
The kick,
highlight. Yeah. So I mean, good for them. Whatever. The Panthers are going to be bums of the league, so they'll get like the first pick next year.
The Vikings won, but had a big injury.
Oh, that's right. Kirk Cousins went down with an Achilles.
Oh wow.
That's like the second quarterback.
Who's their backup?
I don't even know, dude.
Good question.
Some guy. I know they have I know they have Mullins on the practice squad and someone else on the practice squad that has been a backup for a while.
There's your boy.
There he is. 1-on-1 with Larry Fitzgerald, I guess, next.
Jay Hall.
Yeah, Jay Hall. I think he's a rookie, right? I think he is.
Doesn't ring a bell.
Yeah. Yeah, it's probably not anything good. Matter of fact, there were a lot of injuries over the weekend. Guys were going down left and right. I know for the Jets, a couple of
the Jets
linemen went
lost.
down.
Yep.
So I mean, I heard they're holding opening auditions for just big guys just to stick on the offensive line. So maybe contact the Jets if you're big enough, 300 pounds, and it's anywhere from 6'3" to 6'6". They're looking for you right now. But yeah, that was pretty much the NFL in a nutshell. What did we do for our picks last week? How did we wind up, Ernie?
It was a pretty substandard week for Wanderer and I. So let's see, what do we have here? All right, so we'll start with Wanderer because he's still in the lead. Wanderer went 2-2, went in with the Jets and the Jags, losing with the Falcons and the Rams. I went 2-2 again, which I've gone 2-2 every week except for one.
Wow! So you're Mr.
Even Ernie.
Yeah, and that's only because we had the 1 week, the week 6 where we only picked 3 games.
Right.
I lost with the 49ers and the Ravens. Ravens didn't cover. And I won with the Eagles and the Cowboys. And then the big winner for the week was Pugsy, going 3-1. Winning with the Jets, the Eagles, and the Dolphins, and losing with the Texans.
Climbing up. I could have done a clean sweep if Texas could have just held on at the end of the game.
So Pugs and I are now tied at 12 and 15, and Wanderer leading the pack at 15 and 12.
Oof.
Oh my! It's the lead is shrinking.
You know what might happen next week? You might all be tied up. You never know.
Could be.
I don't know about that.
I guess we'll find out soon enough, right? It's only a week away. All right, so now we got our picks for week 9 coming up, right?
Right.
So who's gonna get the party started?
You go first. You
Oh
got
yeah,
a big
go
week.
first. I'll take it. So I got the Bengals -3 against the Bills. The Bengals are hot right now, so I'm thinking they're just going to keep it rolling. The Bills don't look really that great right now. They're struggling to do a bunch of things. I got Baltimore at -5.5. Do we start?
Yes.
Okay. Over the Seahawks, the Ravens just look too good. I don't think the Seahawks are going to be able to match them or be able to come close to go toe-to-toe with them. The Colts -3 against the Panthers. Kansas just came off a win. I feel like they're just going to lose again. The Colts are decent.
They won yesterday, I think, right?
They actually lost
They
to
lost?
the Saints. Yeah, they
Oh,
lost
wow.
to the Saints.
They were up. Again,
were. It
another
was-
team that was up early and didn't end up in their favor.
Yeah, I think they lost 38-31 or something like that too. Something like that. The Saints had a big day, offense wise. And then the Jets are getting 3 against the Chargers. I just hope the Jets still get lucky. Maybe they find some offense because they're probably going to need it against the Chargers.
Yeah, especially since they look like they're starting to heat up a little bit too.
That, and a lot of people say Herbert is overrated. I think it's really the coach holding him back. I really think he's a solid quarterback.
Yeah, I do too.
However, though, the Jets' D is real deal. The Jets are playing at home. I could see that crowd going crazy, and I'll tell you why. Because your man Pugs is going to be there on Monday night.
Nice.
That's right. I'm going to the Jet charging
In the building.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. So I'm going to be in attendance.
You heard it here first. Breaking
Face
news.
painted, Jet jersey on, Jet hat. It's probably going to be freezing, but I don't care. And I'm going to be there watching the Jets D be all over Herbert and Austin Eckler. And I don't think it's going to be a good day for the Chargers. So I'm taking the Jets +3.
And how did this come about?
So my friends from Jersey, shout out to them. Some of them are Jet fans, and one happens to be a Charger fan.
Oh.
He lived out in San Diego for a few years of his life. Now he's here in Jersey, and the Chargers don't come here often. So he just asked me to go to the game. I said I'm in.
No,
And our buddy Anisha's going with me.
Oh,
Nice.
nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So we're gonna go there. I got work, and then I'm just gonna ride all over there. Hopefully, get a nice little parking pass so I can park my car somewhere and go have a good time at the game Monday night.
Nice.
So
Excellent.
I guess we're not gonna be doing a show next Monday. You'll see us on Tuesday, and I'll either be grumpy or really happy. So now, Wander, take it away.
All right. So, yeah, my picks for this week. First, we're going to start out with the Finns in Frankfurt, Germany, +2.5 versus the Chiefs. That's the Sunday morning game. Kicks off at 9:30, I believe. Second up, we're going with the Browns over the Cards, -8. Cardinals are pretty bad, so hoping the Browns can cover that big number. Third up, we've got the Raiders over the Giants, -3. That's a 4:25 start, I think.
Mhm.
And where are they playing now?
Vegas.
Vegas, yes. They move
Vegas,
around.
baby.
They move around a lot.
Vegas, baby.
They're a shifty team.
That's right.
So yeah, we're going with the Raiders in Vegas over the Giants, and then finally we're taking the boys +3. Feeling even a little better about it now. I just saw a stat. I think it said Dak is 7-1 in his last 8 against Philly, and Hurts is 1-2. So yeah, feeling a little better
That's
about
nice.
that pick now.
Before we get to Ernie, right? I want to know why the game of the week is playing at 9:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And on probably some stupid
It's
streaming
strange.
service that we won't have or we won't be able to find for a little while. I'm tired of it. Like, what does anyone know the time difference, by the way, in Germany? Is it like 7 hours or something?
I'm assuming it's like 6 hours.
Okay. Excuse me.
Like Italy.
So if it's 6 hours, why can't they have it a 4:30 game there? So here it'd be like 11:30.
NFL Network.
Okay,
So at least you'll be able to watch.
right. But like, why can't it be a little bit later than 9:30? Like, I'm not saying it has to be at 1 o'clock, but like the time change is 6 hours, right? So you can't play a
Well-
5 o'clock game.
Do the clocks go back this week? You might, and then you get an extra hour.
Oh, they do.
Do they?
They
Even
do.
So
still-
technically, it's 10:30.
Right, but it's still going to be 9:30 in
I
the
know.
morning.
I know.
But
I'm
we just get
having
an extra hour of sleep. But either which way, no one wants to wake up at 9:30 and watch one of the best games that's supposed to be on next week at 9:30.
Well, you don't want to wake up because you don't wake up at that time. Most of people in our age group are up for a couple of hours at that point already. And
I'll have to agree with that
Can
statement.
you believe this guy? Can you believe? What? You know what? If someone wants to sleep in, someone wants to sleep in. Not everyone's an insomniac like you two.
Yeah, I don't have the ability to sleep like
I'll be
late.
on my third cup of coffee
Yeah.
already.
The
See,
week,
that's the problem.
especially the weekend. The weekend, I'm up even earlier. I feel.
That's part of the problem. Let me address one thing at a time. If you're on your third cup of coffee by 9:30, you should be sleeping a little bit more. You should not be having 3 cups of coffee before 9:30 in the morning. There's something wrong with you. Okay, and you need to get a little bit more sleep sometimes. I know you sleep. You go to bed early every day.
During the week, I get my sleep. The
Right.
weekend,
The weekend you just don't care.
Debatable.
You're the exact opposite of me.
Yes.
I get no sleep during the week,
Right.
and then I try to catch up during the weekend.
That's how it's a yin and yang type of
agreed.
vibe.
So you should have been on my side. So next time, just remember that. Okay.
All right. Deal.
All right. Ernie, give us your picks. I hope you go 0-4 this week.
All right. My first pick is going to be the Ravens over the Seahawks.
That sucks.
5.5.
Shout out to Edgar Allan Poe.
Yeah. Ravens are they always seem to be there. Seahawks having a good year, but hopefully Ravens will win by a touchdown. I'll be happy with that. Second one is going to be the Browns over the Cardinals. 8 points shouldn't be an issue. Cleveland's at home. Arizona stinks, so let's
That was my logic
hope
as well.
that's not a upset special for the week. Third, I'm going to go with the Saints.
Oh,
over the Bears.
Okay.
Give it 7.5.
Oof.
They are at home. Not so confident about that either, but I think they should be able to pull that one out. And then finally, as always,
I think we know which way you're going.
With the Cowboys. I'd be much happier and more confident right now if Wanderer would have went against the Cowboys like they did this week. But we'll have to just
Have you guys
keep our fingers crossed.
Have you guys picked your respective teams every week?
Yes, of course, because that's what fans do.
Correct.
Wanderer.
Hey, listen.
I'll take that.
Who's
day of the week, man.
But who's winning? Who's in the lead right now?
Yeah, that's true.
That is true. But
you gotta be objective.
Agreed. It's true, but it's still a long season. We're only at week 9.
I know, but you guys are good. I would say it's safe to say you're gonna pick them every week.
And to mention that Wanderer's got a 3-game lead over us, and 2 of the wins are wins that he picked against the Cowboys.
Wow.
There you go. Proof is in the pudding,
Right.
baby.
So if you would have been a loyal fan,
I would be
it
would be a lot closer.
You don't have a 1-game lead.
There is no loyalty.
I don't know. You can't change your picks now, but it was just on the ESPN ticker that the Cardinals are benching Dobbs and either activating Kyler Murray or some other quarterback that they
Is
have.
Murray healthy?
Yeah, well, they said if they activate him, he'll be the starter. If not,
I see.
This other quarterback, I guess their backup will be.
I doubt he's been watching.
So that's
tape
good or bad for you guys, depending. Now, I guess it's bad either way. Murray hasn't played all year, so he's gonna be rusty. So
Yeah, and I'm sure he's not watching film.
I'd actually.
He's playing Call of Duty.
I'd actually be a lot more confident if Murray was playing versus Dobbs.
Right.
I think Dobbs has been doing.
He's been doing all right, but they benched him.
Yeah.
They said he will not start against the Browns next week.
Wow.
So that bodes well for you guys. Little bit of quick notes. What do we got today? We got the World Series Game 3 in Arizona over the weekend.
Game 3 already, huh?
Yeah, over the weekend. Texas won the first game 6-5 in extra innings. That was some game because they were losing 5-3 in the bottom of the 9th. And Corey Seager hit a 2-run bomb to tie the game. And then that guy, Garcia, hit the game-winning home run, I think in the 10th, not the 11th. So
In game 2?
in game 1.
Game one. Yeah.
So they won the first game 6-5. And then the Diamondbacks just smoked the Rangers in game 2. They won 9-1.
Right.
A bunch of offense on the Diamondback side. Not much going on for the Rangers. But, it's the age-old saying, when you have more offense than defense in the playoffs, sometimes the offense will go cold against better pitching. I don't necessarily think the Diamondbacks have better pitching, but they're pitching well right now, so they're actually going to start in a half hour.
Were they a wild card?
They're both wild cards. So I checked that out over the weekend. The Diamondbacks were the 6th seed, and the Rangers were the 5th seed. The Diamondbacks only had 84 wins
Wow.
this year, so they're in the World Series, and the Rangers had 90. So, matter of fact, they were tied with Houston for the West, and I guess lost out on the division.
Yeah, I mean,
Because of
at
that.
least Texas had a very good year in the sense that they were doing very well a couple of points in the season, then had a little bit of a dry spell. But
Yeah,
the Diamondbacks with 84 wins, it's like
I mean that's literally 2 more games better than the Yankees, and they're in the World Series. But they're a tough, gritty team. Anyone's thoughts on who's going to win tonight? I don't even know the pitching matchup, so I don't even know what to tell you. I'm just going to say the Rangers.
yeah. I mean, I don't care, but if I have to pick, I'd pick the Rangers just because of Jordan Montgomery. But that's my opinion.
So you want them to win the series?
Yeah,
You're saying.
yeah,
Got
yeah.
it. Got it. I'm thinking the Rangers are going to come back and come out strong tonight in Arizona, win today's game. I also agree with you. I want them to win the series, not just because of Jordan Montgomery.
Right. We know like we discussed many a times because of some bad memories.
Right. That and
Oh,
also,
you mean the last time the Diamondbacks were in the World Series? That's striking her.
It might have. Also because the Rangers never won a World Series, so I'd like to see a team that never won win one.
That's a good point.
That's pretty cool. Like I think that's cool. You know what I mean? Like that party once they win would be insane.
Yeah.
Because they've had. It's not like they haven't made the playoffs or the World Series. They made the World Series a couple of years back.
Right.
They just didn't win. And when the Yankees had their dynasties, they were in the playoffs facing the Yankees year in and year out in the playoffs, and they lost to the Yankees all the time. But
They made it in the past few years?
I think so. I think it was like
Yeah, which was surprising. I didn't even remember that.
Oh.
But yeah, they were just a few years back. They were.
I want to say 2019 maybe or something like that. It's
Okay.
not too
Recent,
it's not too
yeah.
far back.
Right.
But yeah, who are you picking for the World Series?
Let's go Diamondbacks.
Oh, of course. Let's go Diamondbacks. You're right.
I don't really
right now.
I don't really have a vested interest in either squad.
All right, fair enough.
We'll just go with Arizona because they like Native American looking colors and jerseys.
Oh, you know what? I take it back. Scherzer's pitching tonight. The Rangers are probably going to lose.
See, I told you.
But I still like them to win the series.
They made it in 2010 and 11. They went to
Wow.
back-to-back World Series.
Okay.
Wow.
Nothing since then?
They lost to the Giants and Cardinals.
Okay. So they haven't been in the last few years.
I thought they were.
Yeah, me too. All right, so yeah, baseball done. Hockey's going on. NBA's going on. Knicks lost the home opener, which is not shocking, but they should have won that game. Their stars just didn't play well. I think they won the other day. I don't know what their record is yet, but it's too early to really talk
Who's
about
that?
The Knicks.
Yeah, they got smoked the other night. But I haven't followed, but I was watching the game on Saturday night. They got smoked.
Well, they at least won one game so far.
Yeah,
Brunson had like some game where he had like 8 threes in a row or something like that. So, whatever. It's still too early. No one really cares about the NBA's regular season. It's all about the playoffs.
True.
And kind of same thing with hockey. But we'll try and get Christina in here in the next week or two. Hopefully, she can give us some hockey knowledge.
I actually saw her at the Dunkin' Donuts on Saturday.
Yeah, she told us. She
Yeah.
told us yesterday.
Yep.
And I think I saw you on Jericho Turnpike walking to Dunkin' Donuts.
High probability. High probability that was me.
Oh, that's funny. I was just going to mention that. I'm glad you did. That was funny. All right. So that wraps it up for the sports for now. What do we got movies-wise or TV-wise?
Did you watch any movies?
No.
Any shows?
AMC has been making money off me for the last 2 months. I got to start getting to the movies. Even if I got to take my poor old dad and mom, I got to go to some movies.
Yeah. I must admit, the last couple of days, with the news of Matthew Perry's passing, I've been watching some Friends episodes, as I'm sure half of the country has.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, the half that likes Friends and hates Seinfeld. So it depends. But yeah, that was really sad. That happened. What was it? Saturday night?
Yeah.
We found out yesterday.
Yeah.
No, we found out Saturday night when we were out.
Oh, you know what? You're right. I forgot. We were out in the town of Miami Vice. Me and Ernie.
Nice.
Roll up sleeves and everything.
There you go.
But yeah, so condolences to him and his family. That kind of sucks. He's a funny dude, and obviously Friends is still on TV all over the place on all these different channels.
Yeah.
So even if you weren't around or old enough to watch Friends when you were little, they're on everywhere now, and it's a great show. It's hilarious, and that show will be playing probably for the next 100 years.
Yeah.
They'll be long and gone, all of them, and the show will still be on like CW or TBS or whatever.
That's for sure.
TV shows. I'm watching Billions.
Oh yeah, that came back, right?
Yeah, I'm halfway through that. I'm on episode 7 of season 7. I think there's only 12 episodes, so hopefully by next week I'll be done with it. But that show is wild to me, and I never understand the stock market stuff that they're talking about. Like, I don't really get the particulars of it, of like, I guess shorting stocks and like making plays and deals and to buy different things or whatever. Like, I don't get it. But like, if that show is any indication of what like Wall Street is like or whatever, they're cutthroat, man.
Oh yeah.
They're cutthroat. Yeah. It's ridiculous. And it's a good show. And that show is loosely based on your uncle.
Who's that?
Stevie Cohen.
Uncle Stevie Cohen. I didn't mean your actual uncle. Guy, come on. But yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's loosely based on things he did and things that happened to him.
Huh.
So yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's good. If you never watched it, I mean, it takes a lot. There's 7 seasons of at least 10 episodes apiece. Some have
no, I've heard good things. Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I'm really involved in now. And what else? I'm almost done with Murders in the Building. I can't wait to wrap that up. Season 4 is already out. Like they're
in the works.
In the works with that. Yeah, I think that's it for this last week.
Okay.
Yeah. What about you? Got anything?
Yeah. I started watching this documentary when I got home last night. It's pretty good. It's called The Pigeon Tunnel. It's on Apple TV. It's about this former spy, David Cornwell, who became an author too. His pen name, I think, is John Le Carre. But it's just about him growing up in that world, and then him also translating it into his own world, with writing the books and stuff. And it's with Errol Morris. He's the director / I guess interviewer. He's got some good documentaries out there, and this is another one. So definitely recommend that. Looking forward to finishing it. I watched about I think an hour.
Was there something else you were supposed to finish last week?
No, that was another show I started. 30 Coins. Yeah, the first episode was good. So looking forward to the new season of that as well.
Nice. Ernie? Oh, you don't watch anything anymore?
Nope.
Good. Good enough.
Just some Friends. That's it.
Great. No new shows for you. Meanwhile, I have a list of freaking 20 shows I gotta be watching. This guy you watch nothing.
Well, because I've watched everything already.
What do you mean you watched
everything? Yeah, I gotta agree with Ernie. Like, there's not much. There's like not a lot of things that grab me really.
When I watch, I blow through it. I can't do like you, where I watch one and I wait 2 weeks before I watch another one. If I commit, I'm committing.
Yeah, but
100%.
No half measures.
A lot of the shows I watch have multiple seasons. Like when I watch The Bears, 2 seasons. It takes a little bit of time because I don't just come home and sit on the couch and watch TV all night.
Right.
Yeah, well, sometimes that's what I do. So I can blow through 2 seasons in
well, maybe we gotta get you some new shows to watch.
I did forget. I finished Us, the horror movie, and I enjoyed that. I thought that was good. It's older film, the second one from Jordan Peele after Get Out.
Right.
So yeah, I like that. That was good.
Did you see that movie with the UFOs? I forget.
That's probably the third one. I forget what it's called, but no, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, I didn't see that either. People told me to stay away from it. It was stupid. But you know what show you should watch? Don't show, and it'll take you a while too. But I would love to hear your thoughts on every season. Watch 24.
Yeah, I do. Do have to give that a shot.
You have plenty of time.
And I do like Kiefer Sutherland. I think he's really good.
And every show after that show that he's done has been awesome. Like Designated Survivor, Rabbit Hole that we talked about.
Rabbit Hole was very good.
Right. You should go back and you need to watch 24. And if you can't find it anywhere, there's a room 10 feet from you. I have every single DVD. That is my favorite show of all time.
Hard copy.
It's one of a kind, that show. And listen, I'm not even going to sugarcoat you. You have to get through like the first 4 or 5 episodes of season 1. Once you do that, you'll do nothing else but watch that show.
Yeah.
Tell you right now.
Eliza Cuthbert, his daughter?
Yes, 100%. You actually literally see her grow up throughout the show. Because that show is like 9 seasons. Like, it'll take you, if you're serious binge watching, probably like 4 months. Like, I don't know how many episodes you watch in a night, but like, yeah, it would take you a good couple months. Like, even if you watch 4 episodes a night, there's 24 episodes and a season.
Jeez.
Yeah. Well, because the whole premise of the show is an hour an episode, and it's 24 hours in a day.
Right.
You know, they don't skimp, but whatever. And then there's a movie for 2 hours when they had the other writer's strike back in the day. But yeah, what do we got? Other than that, Wander, what do you got for music, my man?
Oh yeah,
there we go.
The 3 picks for the week per usual. We're gonna go with Domo Genesis. What You Don't Get. Next up, we're gonna go with this is a couple years old, Idols with Crawler, and the third one is from 2022. It's Flying High, and that's by LMD, Med, and Madlib. So those are the selections for this week.
All right. Well, with that being said, another episode in the books. I guess we won't see you next week till Tuesday, so look for our episode Wednesday early morning. Everyone out there, enjoy your week and go Jets.
Happy Halloween, everyone.
Happy Halloween is right.
That's right. Happy Halloween. Everyone stay safe out there tomorrow, because I'm sure certain cities are going to be pretty crazy. So enjoy. We'll see you next week.